going to show you guys how to divide rationals, or in this case, we would say a fraction divided by another fraction. The first thing we're going to do is apply something called a keep it, change it, flip it method. Let me show you what that looks like here. So we're going to keep the first fraction the way it is. We are going to change the division sign to multiplication, and then we flip the last fraction upside down. That would be x over 10. When you flip a fraction upside down, that's actually called a reciprocal. Now, we can see if we can reduce. We can cross-reduce. Cross-reduce means you're looking diagonally here for any kind of matches for the variables. So I have an x and an x I can cancel. And then I can also cross-reduce my numbers. I have 5 and 10. So what's the biggest number that goes into 5 and 10? That would be 5. So 5 divided by 5 is 1. 10 divided by 5 is 2. The only number I have on top is a 1. The only number I have on bottom is a 2. So my answer is 1/2. Let's look at a second example. We're going to apply the keep it, change it, flip it method. So you keep the first fraction, change it to multiplication, and then use the reciprocal. That means we're flipping the fraction upside down. See if we can do any kind of reducing top and bottom or cross-reducing. I can't do anything here, so we just simply multiply straight across. 12x to the third divided by 77, that would be our answer. Okay. Let's look at a little bit more complex problem here. Again, the method stays the same. We're going to keep the first fraction like we have it. So we have x minus 11 divided by 3. Change it to multiplication. When you do that, that allows us to use the reciprocal. That means we are flipping that last fraction upside down. There we go. Now let's see if we can do any kind of reducing. I have an x minus 11 diagonally from each other. I can cross those out. And then we can cross-reduce. We are not cross-multiplying, we are cross-reducing. So the number that goes into 3 and 9, the biggest number that goes into 3 and 9 is 3. 3 divided by 3 is a 1. 9 divided by 3 is 3. The only number I have on top, or the only thing I have left on top, is 3. And I have 1 times 5 on the bottom. That gives me 5. So my answer is 3/5. We're going to look at one more problem here. There we go. We are going to apply the keep it, change it, flip it method. There we go. Let me erase that there. Okay. Keep the first fraction. So we keep it. Change it to multiplication. When you change it to multiplication, that allows us to use the reciprocal. That means flip that last fraction upside down. X squared minus 10x plus 16 goes on top. X minus 2 goes on bottom. In this problem, we are going to have to do some factoring here. If I look at the bottom part right here, we need to do a greatest common factor. That would be 2. So I can factor out a 2. That leaves me with x minus 8. And if I look in the top right here, this is a quadratic where a is 1. Since a is 1, we are going to play what two numbers? So what two numbers can you multiply by that give us 16, but when you put them together, give us negative 10? But that would be negative 8 and negative 2. Because negative 8 times negative 2 is positive 16, negative 8 minus 2 is negative 10. So the factors would look like this: x minus 8, x minus 2. Doesn't matter who goes first. So now let's see if we can start crossing some things out. Just to kind of clean the problem up, I want to erase what I have right here in pink because that is no longer there. We factor that, what we have in white. Let's start crossing some stuff out. We have x minus 8 diagonally we can cross out. I have an x minus 2 on top and an x minus 2 on bottom. That leaves me with 10 divided by 2. 10 divided by 2, my answer is 5.